Let's talk about one of the most frustrating situations a man can be in. When you're investing your time, energy, and emotions into a woman. And deep down, something feels off. She gives you just enough to keep you around. A sweet text here, a flirty glance there, but never enough to actually move things forward. You're stuck in limbo, and the worst part? You can't even tell if you're making progress or just getting played. This video is about those women, the ones who string you along. And more importantly, I'm going to show you how to spot it, stop it, and walk away with your power intact. Welcome back to the channel, and today's topic? It's not just important, it's personal. Because every man at some point has been caught in the gray zone. She's not yours, but she won't let you go. You're loyal to a woman who isn't even committed to you. That's the trap. And here's the controversial truth. A woman doesn't have to lie to waste your time. All she has to do is never give you a straight answer. She'll say she's confused, she just got out of something, she needs time, or doesn't want to ruin the friendship. But what she really means is, you're not the guy I want, but you're good enough for now. Brutal? Yes, but necessary to hear. So today, I'm breaking down 7 clear signs she's stringing you along, and exactly what you need to do to shut it down. Don't settle for being someone's emotional side dish. Let's get into it. 1. She gives you just enough to stay. This is the oldest trick in the book. And sadly, a lot of men fall for it without even realizing. You reach out, show interest, put in the effort, and she responds, barely. One day she's warm, the next she's cold. One week she's calling you babe, and the next she's ghosting you for days. But just when you start to back off, she does something sweet to pull you right back in. That's not interest. That's strategy. Women who string men along know exactly what they're doing. They don't want to fully commit, but they don't want to lose you either. So, they give you just enough to keep you hanging. A late-night compliment, a flirty emoji, a we should hang soon text that never turns into anything real. These little crumbs keep your hope alive, and that hope becomes the chain she uses to control your time and attention. It's emotional manipulation, disguised as mixed signals. Think about it. If she really wanted something serious, her actions would match her words. You wouldn't have to guess how she feels. But if every time you start to detach, she suddenly misses you, or wants to talk soon, that's not affection. That's control. Let's make it real. You've been texting her for weeks. She never initiates, but always replies. Eventually, you ask her out, and she says she's busy. You back off for a few days, and suddenly she sends you a selfie saying, "Miss this?" Now you're hooked again. You start chasing harder, thinking maybe this time she's really into it. But days later, she's distant again. And the cycle continues. This isn't about bad timing. It's not about her being confused. It's about her needing your attention, but never your love. You have to stop rewarding this behavior. Because the more you respond to these little crumbs, the more she learns she never has to give you the whole cake. You'll keep chasing, hoping things will get serious, while she keeps enjoying the ego boost of knowing you're still around. The harsh truth? If she really wanted you, she'd make it obvious. Women don't hide men they're proud of. They don't make excuses for the ones they truly want. So, if you feel like you're always almost there, that's your sign. You're not moving forward. You're just being played in circles. Stop accepting the bare minimum. You're not here to be someone's maybe. You're either a priority or you walk. 2. You're her backup plan. This one hits hard, but it needs to be said. If she really wanted you, she'd act like it. If she's keeping you around without ever fully choosing you, you're not her priority. You're her backup plan. You're the guy she turns to when the guy she really wants isn't giving her attention. You're the one who gets the just checking in text when she's bored or lonely. You're not the first choice, you're the safety net. And that's not a position any man should accept. Women rarely say this out loud, but their actions scream it. She won't commit to anything solid with you. She's vague about where things are going. She keeps you around with nice words and soft moments, but never takes the next step. That's not affection, that's convenience. You're available, and she knows it. She might say things like, "Let's see where this goes," or "I'm not ready for something serious." But she never truly walks away. Why? Because you provide attention, validation, and emotional support, without her having to fully give herself in return. And the moment she finds something she thinks is better, she'll disappear, like none of this ever mattered. You've got to ask yourself, is this what I really want? To be a placeholder until someone else steps in? To be emotionally invested in a woman who's just passing time with me? This is where most men go wrong. They think if they just hang in there a little longer, prove themselves a little more, she'll come around. But that's not how it works. If she doesn't see your value now, she won't magically see it later. In fact, the longer you stick around in this second place position, the more she'll view you as disposable. What makes this worse is that many of these women genuinely enjoy having a backup. It makes them feel powerful, knowing there's always a man waiting for them, just in case things don't work out elsewhere. And most guys don't even realize they've been put in that category. They just keep showing up, answering texts, and playing the role, hoping it'll turn into something more. But it won't. And deep down, you know that. You deserve to be chosen, not settled for. If she can't make you her first option, don't give her the privilege of having you in the background. Walk away and let her feel what it's like when the backup finds better. 3. She craves your attention, not you. Let's make one thing clear. There's a big difference between a woman wanting you and a woman wanting your attention. And a lot of guys get this twisted. Some women don't actually want a real relationship with you. What they want is your validation, your compliments, your good morning texts, your emotional support when they're down, your availability when they feel bored. You're basically the emotional charge they plug into when their battery is low. But as soon as they feel full again, they unplug and go ghost. If a woman constantly needs your attention, but never gives you anything solid in return, that's not attraction. That's ego feeding. And the worst part? She'll never say it out loud. She'll smile when you compliment her. She'll keep the conversation going, just enough to keep you engaged. She'll flirt a little, then disappear when you try to take things further. Why? Because she doesn't want more. She just wants to feel wanted. As men, we're wired to pursue. So when a woman is constantly responding, but never committing, we think it's just a matter of time. Maybe she just needs to see how serious I am. But in reality, she already knows how serious you are. And that's exactly what she's using. This isn't about building something meaningful. This is about control. She's getting a high from knowing that no matter what she does, you'll be there. You'll reply. You'll ask how she's doing. You'll be consistent, even when she's not. And here's where it messes you up. You start adjusting your behavior to try and win her attention more often. You overthink your messages. You wait for her to come online. You put her on a pedestal, not because she's earned it, but because she's mastered the art of being just out of reach. But here's what you need to remember. A woman who really values you doesn't make you chase her attention. She welcomes it. She reciprocates it. She appreciates it. If it constantly feels like your effort is going into a black hole, then the connection isn't real. It's one-sided. When a woman craves attention more than connection, the moment you stop feeding her ego, she'll disappear. Not because she cared, but because the attention stopped. Don't confuse temporary interest with lasting intention. And definitely, don't mistake your effort for progress. You're not here to be someone's emotional booster pack. If she only reaches for you when she needs to feel desired, and never when you need to feel respected, it's time to cut the cord. 4. She talks, but never acts. One of the clearest signs a woman is stringing you along is when everything she says sounds good, but never leads to anything real. She'll make plans, say the right things, hint at a future, but somehow, nothing ever actually happens. It's all talk, no action. And here's what makes it frustrating. The way she speaks keeps your hopes alive. She might say things like, "Let's go out sometime," or "I've been thinking about you," or even, "I can see us being something." But when you try to follow up or lock something down, she's suddenly busy, distracted, or just disappears for a bit. Then she comes back and repeats the same cycle. It's like being promised a destination, but every time you try to drive there, the road gets blocked. This behavior keeps you stuck in a loop, always waiting for the next move that never comes. And instead of calling it out, most men just keep waiting. They think patience will pay off. They think being understanding will win her over. But what's really happening is that you're getting played by her words, while her actions show the truth. Because here's the reality. If someone wants you in their life, they'll make room for you. They'll show up. They'll follow through. You won't have to remind them, chase them, or beg for consistency. When a woman talks a lot about what could be, but never puts effort into making anything happen, she's keeping you in fantasy mode. She's stringing you along with possibility, not reality. And as long as you believe the words, you'll ignore how little you're actually getting. This kind of behavior is especially dangerous because it feels like progress. She's saying sweet things. She's not rejecting you. She's hinting at more. But emotionally, you're stuck. You're investing in something that only exists in theory. And the longer this goes on, the harder it is to walk away. You start thinking, well, she wouldn't say those things if she didn't care. But you forget, words are cheap. Anyone can say anything. What matters is what they do. And in this case, she's doing the bare minimum to keep your attention, without ever giving you clarity. So don't let her promises keep you in place. If she's always talking about someday, but never giving you today, you already have your answer. She's not building something with you. She's just buying time. You don't need more sweet talk. You need action. And if she can't give that, then it's time to stop listening and start walking. 5. She loves the power, not the bond. This one's going to sting a little, but it needs to be said. Some women aren't in it for love. They're in it for power. Not the romantic connection, not emotional intimacy, just the power they feel knowing you want them more than they want you. And they feed off it. See, when a woman knows you're emotionally hooked, she knows she can push certain buttons. She can disappear for a day and you'll double text. She can flirt with other guys and you'll still stick around. She can give you the cold shoulder and you'll still come back trying harder. That's not connection. That's control. And here's the scary part. It's often intentional. She knows what she's doing. It's not that she's confused or unsure. She knows you want more, and she deliberately keeps it just out of reach. Not because she wants to give it to you eventually, but because she wants to see how long you'll chase something you'll never get. It becomes a game, a silent power struggle. The longer you stay, the more control she has. The more control she has, the more she enjoys the dynamic. Not because she feels anything deep, but because she gets a high off being desired without giving anything in return. And you start changing without even noticing. You shrink yourself just to stay in her good graces. You try harder every time she pulls away. You keep thinking, if I just do one more thing right, maybe she'll finally choose me. But that maybe is her fuel. She uses it to keep you locked in. Let's be real. A woman who truly wants to build something with you doesn't need to play power games. She doesn't need to test how far you'll go to prove your worth. Because a healthy bond isn't about who's chasing more. It's about mutual interest and shared effort. But when she's addicted to the control, you'll always feel like you're one step behind. And she'll keep you there. Not because she wants love, but because she loves the feeling of being chased. So ask yourself, do you feel empowered in this connection? Or do you feel small? Do you feel respected? Or do you feel like you're constantly trying to win her approval? If it's the latter, you're not in a bond. You're in a power trip, and she's the only one winning. 6. She keeps it vague on purpose. One of the most frustrating things about being strung along is the constant lack of clarity. You never really know where you stand, and that's exactly how she wants it. Keeping things vague is a powerful tool for someone who doesn't want to fully commit, but still wants to keep you around. If a woman is interested in you, she'll give you signals that show her intentions. Clear, decisive, and consistent actions. But when she's not sure about you, or worse, not invested, she'll leave things in a state of uncertainty. She'll avoid giving you a clear answer, always keeping the door cracked open, just enough to keep you lingering. It's the classic, let's just see how things go, approach. But the reality is, she knows exactly how things are going. She just doesn't want to make it clear. She enjoys the attention, but she doesn't want to be responsible for making anything official. She keeps the ambiguity alive so that you're the one doing all the work, trying to figure out what's going on. It keeps you hooked, constantly trying to figure out if she's into you, if she's seeing other people, or if she even sees you as more than a backup. The vagueness also protects her. If you get fed up and call her out, she can always fall back on, I never said that, or I didn't mean to lead you on. She's playing both sides without ever fully committing to either. If she was clear and direct, then you'd know where you stood, and there's a chance you might leave. But with things kept vague, it gives her the power to control when and how things happen. What's worse is that most guys stay in this limbo, holding on to that tiny sliver of hope that things will eventually make sense. The worst part is, she'll keep this up as long as you let her. She'll feed you just enough to keep you hanging on, but never enough to make you feel secure. It's a cycle, and the more you tolerate it, the harder it becomes to break free. And here's where a lot of men get caught. They rationalize it. They tell themselves, she's just busy. She's just not sure. She likes me, but she needs time. While there's always a chance that this could be true, if she's constantly vague, it's more likely that she's just keeping you around as a placeholder, and she knows exactly what she's doing. She likes the attention, the admiration, and the fact that you're still waiting for her to make a decision. Being in a relationship, or even a situationship, like this is emotionally exhausting. You're always second-guessing yourself. You start to lose your sense of self-worth because you're constantly wondering if you're good enough, or if you'll ever get the real commitment you want. The clarity you're seeking doesn't come because she's not willing to give it to you. The longer you stay, the worse it gets. So don't let vagueness be your constant companion. If she can't define what she wants with you, it's time to stop giving her the space to keep you on the edge. 7. She's afraid to lose the benefits. Let's face it, you're not dealing with a woman who's truly interested in you. What you're dealing with is a woman who's afraid to lose the benefits you're providing. And no, we're not just talking about money or physical things. We're talking about emotional validation, attention, and the convenience of having you around without the commitment. The sad reality is, A lot of men get stuck in situations where they're giving everything to a woman who's taking it, but not giving anything back. You're investing your time, energy, and emotions, but she's not really offering anything in return. She's hanging around because she enjoys the attention, the ego boost, or the reassurance that she still has power over you. She's keeping you on the hook, but not in a way that means anything substantial. Now here's where the criticism comes in. Men often ignore this. You're sitting there, doing everything for her, trying to win her over, when all she's doing is keeping you around for the emotional benefits you provide. And why do you keep hanging on? Because you're afraid of losing her. And you're probably convincing yourself that if you keep trying, things will change. But let's be real, they won't. Not if she's only hanging around because she's scared of losing the benefits you offer. This is a huge wake-up call, guys. If you're constantly the one pouring into the relationship or situationship and you're seeing no real return, you've got to wake up. She's not into you like you think she is. She's not concerned about your feelings. She's just afraid of losing the free emotional ride you're giving her. And don't get me wrong, women can enjoy the validation and attention too. But here's the difference. A woman who truly cares about you is going to want to give just as much as she receives. A woman who's only interested in the benefits will always hold back, waiting for you to keep providing without ever giving you the commitment or respect you deserve. Stop making excuses for her. Stop letting her keep you as a placeholder, a backup, a safety net. If she's not actively showing you that she values you and what you bring to the table, then it's time to cut your losses. This is your wake-up call. You're not just a filler in her life. You deserve more than someone who's afraid to lose your attention, but not enough to give you anything meaningful in return. The next time she pulls away or doesn't put any effort into meeting your needs, take a step back. Realize that she's afraid to lose the benefits. But what are you afraid of losing? Stop wasting your energy on someone who doesn't see your value and start investing in yourself. You deserve a relationship where both people are giving equally. Don't let her take what she wants and leave you feeling empty. If you're sticking around for someone who's stringing you along, you're choosing to be disrespected. That's right. No one's forcing you to stay in a situation where you're not valued. You're making the choice to keep investing your time, energy, and emotions in someone who has no intention of truly investing in you. I know that's a tough pill to swallow, but what's tougher is realizing that you've been stuck in the cycle of chasing validation instead of true connection. It's time to wake up and stop pretending like the situation will magically change if you just try harder. It won't. In fact, the more you chase, the more you lose. But here's the good news. It's not too late to make a change. You can walk away from being strung along and start valuing yourself more. You have the power to stop accepting breadcrumbs and demand more from your relationships. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt like you're being strung along? What did you do about it? Drop a comment below and let me know your experiences. I'll reach out to connect with you personally and dive deeper into how you can start taking control of your situation. Let's talk about it. You're not alone in this, but you can be the one to change it.